This also happens quite often. So you hear all right, and then so here's phrase A. All right, and then the B section that's totally different. All right, so that's a total contrast to A. B is going to be very similar to A, different key. So it goes to the dominant instead of the tonic. So instead of A, E, E, you get. So it goes down a fourth, which means going up to the dominant. So you go. So that's A prime. It's not exactly the same, but it's close enough that it's almost the same. Very similar. And then phrase C is totally different. So you do. So it's a total contrast to all of the phrases. So you'll see it in that order too. It's not rocket science. It's actually very, very easy. So if you look at 16.5, you'll see a more in-depth version of this, where our first phrase is phrase A. So you have oh, sorry. Flip the page. Sorry. All right, and then you get almost the same phrase. That's the same, and then our cadence, the notes change to form that different cadence. Then you repeat, you do the whole thing again. Then phrase B, contrast. Again, it can be sort of similar material, but it's not going to be like an almost exact copy for it to be a new phrase. So that's totally different, right? You get this little bit of a same rhythm thing, ba da 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 da, and then it just goes off and does something totally different. Finally, we get B prime. All right. So it's, and in the bass part, you've still got this. Right? At 14 and 15, and then it goes into the 16th note, or 8th notes. Okay? Now, as a more in-depth version, so this is all B section, we get even more material. So that's our C section, and then sorry, that's awkward on violin. So you get this final D phrase. So you can have a lot more than just two phrases in each section. but they delineate out pretty clearly. And it really becomes apparent with the perfect authentic cadence at the end of this repeat. Just really look for repeats when you're trying to delineate binary form. So yeah, the B section can have a lot more to it than just that first little phrase, which is fine. But know that your A section is going to end probably on a perfect authentic cadence, and your B section is going to end on for sure on a perfect authentic cadence. So yeah, I don't know if there's anything too crazy about it. So yeah, the first section of the Bhagavat is in usual open form. And yeah. And then he goes into sequences and sort of changes the key around in that B section. And then he wraps it up in D. Brings it back to the original key, ends on a perfect authentic cadence. So what we're going to do is you're going to be assigned 16.1. So it's going to be a lot of analysis this week, but that's the only thing you have to do. So for these first 3. And I'm not going to write all of this on the board because it's a lot of work. So we're just going to look at it. So you're just going to do a simple analysis of this. All right? So it's pretty straightforward. I don't think it's going to actually modulate on you, so don't worry too much about that. But basic Roman numeral analysis, all right? And then figure out your cadences, all right? It's pretty obvious. Here's your A section. Here's your B section, all right? So label it A, label it B, label your phrases, all right? So this is going to be A. Here's B after the repeat. Here's phrase A, all right? Figure out if this is the same. It looks pretty different. So ba 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 bum. Now this could be a new phrase if you look at it, or it may be totally different. It looks pretty different from this, so it's definitely going to be B and not an A prime. And then you have to determine if there's a cadence in here somewhere or if it just goes to 7. And then just label it. So it's pretty straightforward. If you have more questions, go for it. Please ask. So yeah, and just determine whether it's open or closed construction, which will align with how the cadences work out. Yeah, and listen to them. Look them up on the internet. They're all on YouTube. Just Google them, and you can listen to it. It's way easier if you just listen when you're listening for these things like cadences and just the overall construction and phrases. It'll be much more clear if you're listening. So yeah, that's all I've got. Please ask questions if anything comes up. Otherwise, I will see you guys next Tuesday. Bye.